Annyeonghaseyo, this is meowmurai. Let's continue our game of the First Descendant running on PC. Okay. We're working on... Ah, yes, I am upgrading these slots. Bunny or no Keelan. It's weird to have just normal speed characters. No Serena. Okay. I didn't think I needed it, but if nobody else has a multi-hit weapon, then we will equip one. Of course, then the rest of the night will probably be filled with bunnies and and Serenas, and we've done that for nothing. Multi-hit Haley. I mean, it'd be the same as using, like, the Albion. She's good with the Albion. You'd have to make your arcade tuning like a line, right? Because you want skill power and then you want multi-hit. I don't know. All of us are trying to figure out something for Haley, the way she is, and you know, she needs some help. So I don't know if there's a really good answer for her at this point in time. I mean, they can only work on so many characters, you know. I don't know. I mean, I think they need some good decisions other than rebalancing Bunny again, but I mean, I get it. She's like one of the most popular characters, so they want to make sure that she's like appropriately good. But hopefully, after Ultimate Legion, they'll look at things that are there. Just another balance. Obviously, there's no reason I choose leveling over Albion, the multi-hit, is just because the leveling does more damage, just overall, and using her cryogenic transmog, she can do all the freezing that the Albion would have done for you, so there's no need for that particular function. I mean, the good thing about using the Albion is that as long as you're continuously firing, it cancels out her slow walk speed. But only when you're firing. Only when you're holding down the button. Not going to be something maybe that's hard to find, is it? I don't think we left it. Oh, we did leave somebody behind there. Wow, he's way back here. Is he in the wall? No, that wasn't it. It was one enemy. One enemy. Actually, this bug hasn't happened for a while. I'm kind of surprised to see it here. Alright. Yeah, that's too bad. It spawns some enemy off the map. I think is what happens. And then, of course, you can't get to the enemy. I mean, you know, the game's not perfect. But for an Unreal Engine 5 game, it actually runs pretty well. If you consider the state of Unreal Engine 5 games, this is actually doing okay. I got my truck into my mechanic, and I mean, they determined that it was just a bad battery, that it wasn't the alternator that was out. And I was like, it seems like I'm always replacing the battery in that truck. Like, it seems to suck a lot more power out of a car battery. And you know, so I walked. Well, you know, I mean, the place isn't too far away from me, so I walked home, and now I'm like totally tired and sore just from walking home. Now, granted, it's, you know, like 4.5 miles away, so it's not like a very casual walk. But still, I'm like, I can't believe I'm just wrecked from walking. Show you how lazy I am. The funny thing is, I run on a treadmill, like 3 or 4 days a week. But running on a treadmill and actually walking on pavement are just two completely different things. So you work a lot more muscles walking on pavement. But it's also why I don't walk on pavement. It's really hard on the body. Especially near a low part. My truck, it's a 2008 Nissan, so, I mean, yeah, it's a little older. It's not considered a classic or anything. It's still fairly modern. It's just that it was made during an era when they still sold medium-sized trucks. Right? In America, it's just, now you just have, you know, small four-bangers, or you have gigantic ass 8 cylinders. There's nothing in between. My truck isn't in between. I guess us silly Americans, you know, that we're only about extremes. They couldn't sell a mid-sized truck. People weren't buying them. And I don't want to buy, well, number one, I'm not going to be in the country for that much longer, but number two, I don't want to buy a big-ass truck. Like, I don't have a need for a truck that. I don't have a need for a, you know, 8-cylinder F-150. More than half the time, he just drives to like the grocery store. Why do you have that big ass thing, dude? I've not seen him once like haul rocks or fertilizer or anything of that sort. Like I couldn't do the like a little 4-cylinder Toyota because I live on a hill. And the 4-cylinder, you know, unless it's a 4-wheel drive, it actually can't make it up the hill in the winter. Tons of people get stuck on my street because it's too steep. Without 4-wheel drive, you basically are screwed. So I needed at least 4-wheel drive, and I needed something that was not just a tiny little truck, tiny little pickup. So, you know, I bought one that was I bought this car off a lot, because it was one of the few mid-sizes that was still available, you know. Basically, it's perfect for what I need. However, it does drain the goddamn battery. Like, I generally will buy the battery before the warranty expires. So it's like, I don't know what's going on. Something else going on with the electrical that's causing trouble. But I don't specialize in that kind of work, and I don't want to dig into it. It's one of those skill sets I just don't care to learn. You know, there are plenty of things I will learn, but working on a car is not one of those things. You know, Dad was a mechanic growing up, and I just saw like how miserable that life is. And I'm like, yeah, I don't think I want to do that. You end up working for a dealership just because it's this part of the country. Owners of dealerships are, I wouldn't say they're great people. Tend to be scumbags. Who are always like looking to screw over their employees. Again, that might be just the area I live in. Real distaste for large used car owners. They have like a large ass lot. All those guys are never good people. Again, just my experience. Maybe somebody out there lives in a world where every single lot owner is just like a wonderful person that treats their employees really well. I did not see it in all my time. And it was better when my dad had his own shop. But, you know, the bigger lots, you know, try to snuff out the smaller mechanics. Because you face kind of a lot of unfair competition. I don't know. A little of auto care. It's not for me, for sure. Do simple stuff like I'll change the oil. Change the windshield wiper. The very easy stuff. Anything more complicated than that? Get the mechanic down. Especially if they have a small shop. Or heavy. Oh, you have a Camry? Yeah. Toyota's a good manufacturer. They make great vehicles. I mean, their trucks are like especially worth quite a bit. They have a good reliability record. They generally keep their value too. Yeah, Camrys, solid cars. You know. They're reliable. Honestly, this is the first non-American brand truck that I've ever owned. I think I've even said it before, but I own Chevys, Fords, GMCs, a lot of American manufacturers, or at least have American headquarters. I'll tell you, man, this Nissan is better than all those trucks I've ever driven up until now. I was really stubborn that I wanted to have an American truck, because that's kind of how I was raised, but don't buy an American truck. Don't buy an American truck, because they are not as good. And you don't realize that until you buy a non-American truck and you're like, damn, I got better features, I got better design, I got more reliability. I mean, if the auto industry in America wonders why it's having a problem, yeah, you know, my family's, very, they're all American. They try to be. That's how I was growing up, but it's like, there are just some things that you can't buy American. Just the quality just isn't there. That's not a reflection of like America's workers or anything. It's a reflection of like the management and the design decisions that these companies have. They're completely not interested in giving you new features or being more efficient or anything. They just want to keep making the same thing over and over again. It's like, dude, that's why you're being left in the dust. You can't just keep selling me the same F-150 year over year. In fact, I'd say of all the American trucks that I've owned, I mean, the Club brand was the most reliable. The only reason I'm still not driving that truck is because somebody ran into it. It rear-ended me and ended up shifting the frame in half. Right, not quite to the point where it split in half, but to the point where the two halves of the vehicle were no longer aligned. Actually, I probably should have died in that accident, but I will say, as far as the safety, I mean, that Dakota was top notch. The worst, unfortunately, was the Chevy that I owned. Nothing but problems. The problem, even though it was a 6-cylinder, like the engine was just was not very powerful for a 6-cylinder. Although you want to go to, you want to drive up to Mount Rainier, get some skiing in, but your truck can't make it. Maybe I don't need to own this truck anymore. I can't go up the damn mountain. I think that's a minimum requirement for a truck to go up a mountain. C'est la vie. Someday, American car designers will get it. Actually took us a long time. And then what do we do when we have a chance to make an electric truck, or you know, an electric vehicle truck? Make a freaking Cybertruck. That is like so not a truck. That is just a fancy SUV. I wouldn't even say fancy either, but it's like I'll take the Rivian if I'm going to buy an electric vehicle that's a truck. And I know a couple guys that work for Rivian, so they seem like they're pretty decent. Maybe they become the number one manufacturer of this stuff. For now, they're a decent company. Yeah, I mean, a truck is not really about beauty, right? I mean, all trucks basically have to kind of look the same in order to function correctly. I mean, they'll never be like an awesome truck. It's just not a thing. So you really got to rely on the internal. For a while there, manufacturers were starting to mess with things like curves. But depending on who you buy your truck from, you may not even get curves anymore. Like I say, they gave up the whole idea of curves. You know, basic aerodynamic functions. Basically being aerodynamic. At this point in time, all new trucks I ever see, it's like, nah, forget it. I gave up. And the tires. I'm pretty sure a couple of those aren't round anymore either. Just because they got to be a weird shape to, you know, hold 32-ounce spring. Never expect to pick up any girls in my truck. I mean, that's not a thing. I mean, even if it was a thing, I would question whether or not I want to date a girl. That'd be like, man, your truck looks awesome. I'm like, yeah, it looks like a truck. I mean, it just by its function, it's just never going to look awesome. However, if you're hauling something, then, you know, it's going to be a little bit more useful than your Ford Focus. The car attracts the wrong kind of girls. Well, what can you do? A Camry's a good car. You can't just give up a good car for the wrong women. I mean, could be worse. Could own a Lambo. I mean, that's definitely a certain kind of woman. I'd say BMW too, but BMWs are now at the same price as a regular car now. Just because regular cars have risen in prices to the point where they're like comparable to a BMW. Oh, they see money when you notice a car. Okay. I definitely don't have a problem with a truck. Usually, if somebody sees my truck, they want help moving. Kind of whatever anybody thinks of whenever they see a truck. The worst part is, you know, I've gotten so used to like my friends asking me to use a truck to help them move that I actually really know, like I know how to move really well. I know how to pack things, and I know how to get everything packed in the bed really tight, and how to tie it down. And you know, when I started lifting, you know, going to the gym and lifting more, then I sort of became like I started looking like a truck owner. And one time I was helping my friend move, well, more than one time, but I was helping my friend move, and I show up to his apartment, and his girlfriend looks at me and is like, "Oh, you brought the muscle." I'm like, "I beg your pardon, I'm a nerd. Do not refer to me as the muscle. All I do is pick up heavy stuff and put it down." And I own a truck, so yeah, I guess I could understand why you would think maybe that's what I am. But no, good man, I am not the muscle. Why is that? The only reason I even keep it up is just health reasons. I mean, I just... You know, unfortunately, the genes I inherited were, you know, kind of not the good genes. I got the tendency to gain weight. I got allergies. I got the skin conditions. Like I didn't really get like the good stuff. Yeah, yeah. As soon as you own a truck, man, I tell you, everybody needs help moving or hauling something, you know. And I'm just like, you know, U-Haul rents these trucks now. I mean, it's like $20 a day plus whatever fees they throw on top of it, so it ends up being like whatever, $100 a day or something like that. So it's like, it's not like you can't get a truck. I mean, trucks are available without you having to purchase them. But you know, it doesn't come with a person to help you, so I guess that's why my friends hit me up. You know, the IT nerd. You know, who watches anime and sci-fi. I don't do comic books. Never was into them. But all the other nerd stuff I like. Will make you live longer. So there is that. And even the amount of exercise you have to put in to give yourself like a little bit of a boost in your life, it's not much. Like there's a surprisingly, small amount of work you can do to maybe, get some benefit of having more energy. And build a stamina. You really don't have to do much. And like I said, it's just picking heavy stuff up and putting it back down. I mean, this is not rocket science. And no, it's not fun. I mean, there are people that think it's fun, but I'm not one of those. I go in there and I dread having to do it. Especially the treadmill. But, run your ass a little bit and you have enough energy to wake up in the morning. Build up a little bit of self-confidence, have other people like the way you look. Maybe be able to eat that cheeseburger, twice a week instead of just once. So at this point in time, I got to the point where I just make my own burgers. I don't know, like the quality of fast food has been questionable over the years, I think. Or my tastes have really, really changed. No, maybe it's a little combination of both. But. I like a lot of shit in my burger. Like onions in there, like peppers, like a shit ton of garlic, Who's not gonna get that? got in the habit of putting kimchi on the burger as well. Kimchi and cheese. Pretty down right now. Yeah, I'm just gonna get into burger. McDonald's or roast. Fast food joints. See kimchi as an option and in and out, you know. Oh, come on. Is there no one? Oh, don't tell me I did this thing again. Oh, this level is buggy, I guess. I guess we should pick the other 400%. It's funny, all this, I mean, this morning I didn't have a problem at all. Okay. Anyway, that's my life advice. Become a lifestyle channel. Of course, when I first started working out, like I really, you know, I just had no clue about anything. You know, like I said, you just go in there, list some stuff, and put it back down. Start off using machines, and eventually you get into using free weights. But I just remember like not being used to getting any attention, and like I was so clueless when I'd go to the gym, and like one of the trainers, one of the girls working at the gym, like it. I mean, I think about it now, and I realized that she was interested in me at the time. I was just starting my workout program, so I wasn't really like thinking about keeping up with her. It wasn't in my radar or my cards. Had no clue, you know. She'd like been dropping like a ton of hints that she wanted to date. I was just dumb. I was like, I'm so tired. Spent an hour and a half here, and I just want to leave. I just did not want to stick around. It was only when one of the other girls was like pushing, and I guess she was like a little shy, so she didn't want to like necessarily like walk up and have like a flirty conversation, and like the other girl that was working with her. One day she just like pushed her friend in front of me, you know, as I was leaving. I guess she got tired of hearing about having a crush on that weird asshole who started coming in. So, even then, I didn't really get it until like a couple weeks later. I was like, oh, okay. I didn't realize that they were flirting. I just thought they were being friendly. Work with people, you kind of have to be friendly with them. I just thought she was just trying to sell me something, just be nice. I didn't think it was anything more than that. But it probably worked out for the best because she's like significantly younger than me. Yeah, well, I don't think this is going to work out. I mean, like I got 15 years on you. Pretty sure you should probably be looking for somebody much younger than me. But thanks for the compliment. Enemies constantly in the air. Oh, in the air. Okay, that would make sense. They're kind of stuck up there. So yeah, weird little working out. You get a little bit more attention. Not necessarily good though. It's like if I'm looking for a fellow nerd girl, I don't necessarily want the gym girl to be interested. As nice as that is, I don't want to pretend I like working out. You know, doing things that people who go to the gym all the time like to. I don't want to pretend that I like hiking, because I don't. I do like camping. It's real camping. Not just pulling up in an RV. You know, bringing a TV with you. Then, no, I don't like that kind of thing. This is Oregon. I mean, at some point in time, you're going to go camping. That's one of the requirements of living in the state. You better hope that you have a good time, because you're going to be invited camping many times in your life. Weird next time. I swear, I think it's just somebody running a mod screws with the controls. But I don't even know why you would have a mod in this game. I mean, what are you trying to make easier? The game is not hard. I mean, it starts off hard, but over time, it becomes, more of a casual thing. That's more important. But I will admit, when you first start, it's pretty hard. You'll be learning, you'll be losing plenty to the intercept battles, You're gonna get stuck on Death Stalker. You're gonna get stuck on what is all there? I'm trying to think of the other intercept battles that I had trouble with. I think I had trouble with Ice Maiden. She was a real pain in the ass when you first start. Who else was a kind of wall? Swamp Walker is a wall for a lot of people. Power Maniac used to die to that guy all the time. Same thing with Hangman. I mean, as soon as you get like here, like Dead Bride, then this game like becomes pretty hard when you first start, at least. These first three are easy, and then Dead Bride might kick your ass depending what Descendant you're using. Devourer. I mean, if you're like level 40, I mean, this thing has a ton of HP for somebody that's level 40 or level 35 or whatever. Swamp Walker just requires you to have enough toxin resistance. And Hangman, listen, he seems really hard when you first play him. And then you get into here and like Molten Fortress, Gluttony, and Deathstalker. Well, especially Deathstalker. Deathstalker's still the hardest boss in the game. Although I guess that's not really true anymore. I mean, last time we played Deathstalker, I think the team beat that in like 10 seconds. It used to take a long time to beat that boss. You know, now not so much, but before arcade tuning and, you know, external component customization, before all that good stuff that they've been giving us over the last couple months, the game was not necessarily an easy game. It definitely had its moments. Frozen Heart. Yeah, it's too bad they can't rework those bosses to just make them more difficult, but I mean, based on what they were saying in their last live presentation, people would get stuck in those bosses and they wouldn't be able to progress. You know, they'd get into a party and then nobody was strong enough to beat the boss, and so they just get stuck there. And if I think back to it, I mean, that was a problem when I was playing too. When I was first playing, like, it took so long in order to get good enough to get a good enough build, and to have enough resources to build a character to get past the boss. So I was like, okay, I get it. I get why they don't touch those bosses, because they're already hard for a lot of people. Even though people like us wish that they were harder, you know, plenty of people can't get past all that stuff. So it's like, yeah, I get it. Like, I do wish there was a way to tell, like, if people are trying to, if people are stuck on a boss, like if there's like a lot of attempts to fight a boss and there's a lot of failures, then I would just go in and help new players. Just jump into these intercept battles with my maxed out character and just one-shot everything, you know, just to get them past whatever part they're stuck in the game. But there's no way to tell, like, if somebody's stuck in here, or if like a bunch of new players are stuck on Dead Bride and Swamp Walker, like, you don't know. If there was a way to tell, I'd be more than happy to just jump in there and help people. In and of itself, that's kind of fun. And people don't really use the like the request for help system. I think I've only ever gotten one of those requests. You know, it's not like an MMO, and like in an MMO, people use that system all the time, and people come in and help. But yeah, that's not the kind of crowd. I mean, there's a way to do it in the game, but that's not really what people do in the game. And, you know, there's no point in looking at world chat, because it's chat on the internet. It's not full of any useful information. kill everything. I guarantee you that you won't have to run back here. Make sure everything's dead before you leave. That's all. Super weird. I'm not hitting those buttons to bring up the map. Just not hitting. I mean, that, to me, that's like the spark button or the select button. My hands are nowhere near those. Dude, that's not the best weapon to use for this kind of mission. I was like, put the sword away. Select button. Push. So I'm gonna find out what that mod is. Whatever the mod is. Causing it to happen. Those guys are on the Xbox and the PlayStation. They're not PC players. Still, I'm not hitting these buttons. It's just weird that it was doing it. Of course, my controller might be going bad too. I have owned this thing for a little while. I was looking around for another controller to replace this one. Because they do have new models of this. But all these controllers are like over $100. I don't want to spend that money like that. Never mind. One more run, because I'm exhausted. Back is gonna hurt. I'm in a little pain right now. Waking up in the morning is still not gonna be fun. I forgot Haley can actually make the music really good. If you're good at hitting crits. Or hitting weak points. But I think I have to go back to building another peacemaker to do that. Really use it as a standstill. Run fast. Character. Yeah, I might try it out tomorrow. Build the gun for crit. Let's see how I do. Apparently it's good. It's also like one of the hardest guns to hit a weak point with, because of the way the reticle works. It's not a fast firing weapon either. Alright, well, we didn't really end up leveling up this thing very much at all. We got one level, I think. We brought it up to level 40 once. But that's okay. As I'm not in a super rush to see everything in the game anyway. Yeah, this is meowmurai. You've been watching the First Descendant running on PC. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed watching. I will see you at the next stream.